Meow.
In the morning hours of Saturday, December 5th, 1998, Kelly Binfant went to labor with her first child, Morgan. Around 5 o'clock a.m., Brita Davidson and her husband Scott left Minneapolis, Minnesota to be with Kelly in Fargo. On the Buffalo River Bridge, just outside of Fargo, Brita and Scott were in a car accident. Brita Davidson was an organ donor.
I got the call from the emergency room doctor that had worked on Brita. He explained to me that there had been an accident, and that was all the information that he would tell me.
I had gotten a phone call on early Saturday morning, and it was my sister Sarah telling me that there had been an accident and that my sister Brita was in a coma.
We were at Merit Care Hospital because our daughter Kelly was having her first child.
You guys, are you ready for this now?
Oh, yes.
You are ready, huh?
Sure.
You're not going home this time till you have a baby. Okay.
I went into labor and didn't know anything until after I had the baby.
And is there Morgan? Morgan.
It was kind of a horrible day. We had to lie to Kelly about what was going on because we didn't want her to find out until after the baby was born. And at the same time, we wanted to be with Brita just in case there was a chance she could hear us or knew that we were all with her.
And I remember thinking, this is so bizarre. This doesn't happen. This isn't real.
Things like that aren't, they're not supposed to happen. And they shouldn't happen, and yet here we are, and it's happening to us on the same day at virtually the same time. A baby waiting to be born, and our daughter actually waiting, I suppose, to die from the injuries that she had.
They told us on Sunday morning that she had had some additional hemorrhaging and that she would not live.
She had the biggest, widest, brightest smile.
She was very bright. She was a close friend.
She was just a very warm, caring person.
Every day when you get up, you think about the fact that you're here, you're waking up because somebody was kind enough to talk to their family and let them know how they felt about organ donation.
As of today, there are over 86,000 patients waiting in the United States for an organ from a deceased donor. And unfortunately, in spite of so much of publicity and efforts on behalf of a lot of people, the rate of organ donation from deceased donors has not grown.
I was put on the waiting list in 1993. There were times that my biggest concern was what will happen if a heart doesn't come along in time, what's going to happen to my family, and being concerned of making sure that my kids will end up to be healthy mentally, physically, and everything. As I got sicker, you could kind of see things falling apart. I went from someone who, when I needed to do something, I went and did it and did a lot of things, to everything seemed like an effort. Taking a shower and getting dressed, and I'd rest.
Depending upon the donor's condition, we do try and expedite the procurement of organs. Once the organs are procured, it depends upon what organ it is. For example, heart transplant is usually placed in the body in under 4 hours.
When the phone call came, and upon answering the phone, after the initial shock of actually finally getting that call, we as a family kicked in and pulled together to do what we needed to do in order for me to make the flight to get to Minneapolis.
This is WDAY News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. It's not often that people who get an organ transplant meet members of the donor's family. But as Lisa Kroll tells us, today, two families in Fargo met for the first time with nothing in common but one woman's heart and their message about donation.
When 1 year was up and we actually did get to meet DQ, I wanted very much to meet her, but I was nervous.
I think the minute that we met DQ, it was okay. I think the beginning of anticipating meeting her was harder.
When the actual time came for us to meet face to face, it was exciting and scary all at the same time. It was exciting to meet the family that, through their grief, they were able to look past it a little bit and think of somebody else. It was also scary because I didn't know what their expectations were going to be. And for the gift that they gave me, I didn't want to let them down.
The first thing she did was came up and showed me her hands and that they were pink. And she said she hadn't had pink in her fingers for like 3 or 4 years. So that was neat.
I think it's just a miracle that this woman was almost dead and now is living and thriving. And when I met her, she said, "I will always take care of myself, and I will always take care of this, this gift that your family has given me." And she was so kind and just a wonderful, wonderful person, and that made it easier.
My life now, I'm able to enjoy seeing my grandchildren grow.
Here's a wobbly, wobbly ghost.
I'm able to do things. I saw 2 of my children get married. I'm able to go and take trips. I can do things, and when I do get tired, I know a little rest and I'll feel better.
I believe fully in organ donation. I guess a lot more than I did before her accident, but I'm a true believer in it now when you see the change that it has in someone's life.
In October, my husband and I will celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. And without the transplant, that's a day I would not have seen.
I believe in it now. Frankly, I had not even given it a thought until Brita's accident.
Look at it from all perspectives. Look at it not only from, do I want to be an organ donor, but what if I, somebody I love or somebody I know, would need an organ? How would I feel? What would I want to do? Whatever your decision is, it is your own decision, and whatever decision you make is the right decision for you.
And it was so awesome to us that we actually could see more the other side of the spectrum than Brita's accident. She believed in it strongly, and that makes it easier to go on because that's what she would have wanted.
One of the things that we learned after the accident was that just checking the box when you get your driver's license is not enough. You have to actually talk to your family members, let them know what your wishes are, so that if they are forced to make a decision like that, they know what your wish would be.
I guess maybe if we think about it, she's probably pretty happy all this stuff is going on, as emotional as it gets for us. I don't think that she would have played it any other way.
What I would say is kind of a message from Morgan, because someday she's going to be old enough to understand everything that happened, and what I would say to her is that there was never a point in that entire process where we weren't completely thrilled beyond belief to have her, and that she is literally like a walking miracle for our family, just because she became a vehicle to pull us through what was the worst time we'd ever seen, and she rescued our family.